Hello, explorers. Welcome back to English Explorers with Riddhima. Today, we are dedicating a full session to one of the most curious and charming idioms in this English language called Bob's your uncle. Now, you might be wondering, how can one little idiom deserve a session on this? Well, as we'll see, idioms are not just phrases, they are time capsules of history, humor, and culture. By the end of this session, you will know this idiom so well that you will recognize it in conversations, use it naturally, and even share its story with others. Let's start it without any delay. Bob's your uncle is a British English idiom that means there you have it. That's it. Or it's that simple. Think of it like English cousin of the French word voila. It usually comes at the end of the instructions. Add the eggs, stir in the sugar, bake for 20 minutes, and Bob's your uncle. You have got a cake. Fill out this form, hand it in at the counter, wait for 2 days, and Bob's your uncle. Your application is processed. It's casual, light, and often playful. Idioms always become more fascinating when you peek into where they came from. The most widely accepted story goes back to British politics late in the 19th century. There was a prime minister called Robert Cecil, the Salisbury. His nickname, of course, Bob. In 1887, he appointed his nephew, Arthur, to a prestigious political post. People joked that it was pure nepotism. Success handed on a silver platter simply because Bob was your uncle. So the phrase began to mean done, easy, all sorted. Isn't that interesting? An idiom that survived over a century, starting from one act of favoritism in politics. Now lives in the kitchens, classroom, and casual chats. What's special about this idiom? This idiom is not just its meaning, but the tone it carries. It can sound cheerful, like, Bob's your uncle, we are ready to go. It can sound sarcastic as well. Yeah, just restart the Wi Fi, press three buttons, reconfigure the modem, call the service provider, and Bob's your uncle. Problem solved. Tone changes everything. Also, while it's common in the UK, it's less familiar in the US. That's why Americans sometimes find it quirky or even confusing. But in Britain, it's warmly familiar. Let's broaden the view with few examples. When we are talking about something cooking, we can use this. Mix the batter, pour it into the tin, bake for half an hour, and Bob's your uncle. You have got brownies. When it's about the technology, you can use it. Just connect the cable, click install, restart your laptop, and Bob's your uncle. Software is running. When it's about your daily life schedules, send in your application, pay the fee, wait for approval, and Bob's your uncle. You have got the license. When it's about the sarcasm in frustration, just rewrite the whole report, fix the graphs, double check the numbers, and Bob's your uncle, right? The idiom works best in step by step situations, whether real or exaggerated. Now let's wrap this idiom into a story to make it unforgettable. It's London 1887. A young man named Arthur, uncertain about his future, suddenly finds himself appointed to a top job. People whisper in pubs, "Why him?" "Oh, easy, Bob's his uncle." Fast forward 50 years, a grandmother is teaching her grandson how to knit. She shows him the final step, ties the last knot, smiles, and says, "And Bob's your uncle." The boy laughs, having no idea about politics, but he remembers the phrase for him. Jump to today, a teenager uploads a TikTok recipe video. At the end, after blending smoothies, they grin and say, "Bob's your uncle." And thousands of viewers smile, even if they don't fully know what it means. They play, they feel, they cheer behind it. That's how idioms travel through time, through people, from politics to kitchen to pop culture. So, what does Bob your uncle really teach us? It teaches us that language is alive, it carries stories, humor, irony, and history. This one idiom reminds us that sometimes life is simpler than we think. Instructions don't need to be happy. Add a smile, add a phrase, and suddenly the task feels lighter. So the next time you finish explaining something, don't just say done. Smile and say, "Bob's your uncle." It's playful, it's cultural, and it connects you to over a century of English humor. Thank you, explorers, for spending this session with me. Keep listening for idioms in movies, books, conversations. The more you notice them, the more colorful your English becomes. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, in the world of English, it's Bob's your uncle. Let's adapt it from the idiom Bob's your uncle.